What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Before I crack on with today's video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, you want to help to support my channel, then do subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Aiming for 21k subscribers now, less than 800 subs away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget also social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries. Leave a thumbs up as well if you did enjoy this video, and also let me know your thoughts in the comments below, where I'm sure there are a lot of emotions out there, so do let me know in the comments below. Without further ado, let's crack on with this video. We're going to speak about everything that there is to speak about before we get into that about Cristiano Ronaldo. So first we're going to start off with some contract news, and Pep Guardiola during his pre-match press conference against Arsenal has clarified his future, saying that he is going to be taking a break from football when he leaves Manchester City. And he says that's what he's told the Brazilian outlet that said that he was going to be leaving Manchester City in 2023, and said it's been mistranslated and there's a misunderstanding there. He's saying that he may not leave in 2023. He may extend his contract. He might be here for another 4 or 5 years. He doesn't know. He might not be here for another month or two if the board are unhappy with him or the players are unhappy with him and they want him to leave. So he's saying that when that moment does come that he needs to leave Manchester City, it might be in 2023, it might not be in 2023, but when that moment does come is when he's going to take a break from football and then start looking towards international management in football. So there we go, Pep Guardiola putting some clarification on his future. Now moving on to the out, we've got a little update on Yeboah Amankwah, I hope I said his name right. Anyway, he's joined Accrington Stanley on a season-long loan, so I wanted to wish Yeboah the very best of luck on the move and hope he goes and smashes it there at local side Accrington Stanley. Now, moving on to the ins, we also have a Kayky update as well. He plays for Fluminense, he's already signed for Manchester City, of course, and he's had his contract cancelled by Fluminense in Brazil, so that means he now can come to Manchester City early and continue with his developments. My understanding is all the bonuses of the deal are all in place, and I'm going to presume that the fee that City are paying to Fluminense is also expected to be the same and everything is as normal, and the only thing that's different is instead of Kayky joining us when the Brazilian season ends in the winter, he's now going to be joining up with us very soon at the end of this summer, of course. So exciting times there for Kayky, who's going to, I'm sure, cannot wait to get going with Manchester City, and so we are just awaiting his imminent arrival for him to, you would imagine, take place in the academy. Maybe we might loan him out, I'm not too sure, but I reckon he'll probably be used by our academy and see how he goes from there. So there we go, that's all the transfer news got through. Let's speak about Cristiano Ronaldo. So this is a very fast-paced transfer. I have been saying over the last couple of videos when I've been covering this transfer that this transfer is that quick that keeping up with it is very difficult to do, and the best way to keep up to date with things was through social media, because I can tweet about things, I can retweet sources, and I can certainly keep you up to date a lot better on social media than I can through a video, because obviously by the time I've made a video, which is obviously planning the video, recording the video, editing the video, and then distributing the video, that takes time. By the time I've done that process, the news that I've put out there is then old news. That's how quick this transfer has been developing. And so I have seen a couple of comments of people putting that things are slow and stuff like that. Personally, don't appreciate getting comments like that, because it's hard work doing this YouTube malarkey. This isn't something I sit down and do all throughout my day as a full-time job for me. It isn't. It's done as a hobby in my own spare time. And so keeping up to date with things, I'll just say I'm always trying my best, and there's a lot of dedication there in trying to keep you guys up to date with the latest informative, reliable information out there for you guys. And with this Ronaldo one, it's been particularly tricky, even though it's only been going on for what, a few days. This has been one of the hardest transfers for me to cover, to keep up to date, to try and divide what's fact, what's fiction, and the reliability, and keep you guys in the loop ASAP, because like I said, with the process of filming a video, it's difficult. Social media, everything's in demand. It's now. It's much easier to keep on top of than what it is when trying to distribute videos for you guys. So yeah, just letting you into the world of video content creating, and that's quite simply just how it is, and there isn't anything that I can do to change that. So the situation from yesterday: in the morning, Ronaldo went into his training camp to Juventus, said goodbye to the players, said his goodbyes to all of the staff, then left. He was in for just over an hour at the training facilities in Turin. Then he left, took a private jet. People were doing plane tracking, and they were wondering if he was going to be going to Paris, to Manchester, or whether he was going to be heading elsewhere. He ended up heading elsewhere and went to Lisbon. I even saw rumours go around saying he was joining Sports in Lisbon. He wasn't. He was going, what I'm going to presume is back home, whilst Jorge Mendes was sorting out the transfer, and everyone was expecting that transfer to be sorted was that of Manchester City. We had a contract prepared, a 2-year contract for him to sign until 2023. Manchester City were communicating with Jorge Mendes to try and get the deal sorted, and Manchester City then on the negotiation side were using the agent to negotiate with Juventus, and Man City's stance was quite clear. They didn't want to pay a fee. However, Juventus' stance was they wanted the 25 million euros, his release clause, to be met, so that pays off that debt to Real Madrid for his transfer, and it also gets him off their wage book as well, is what they were looking for. And Manchester City seemed to be ooming and ahhing, and they were taking their time over it, albeit it was over the case of hours. I'm not even talking a day, I'm talking hours. So I'm not going to sit here and say Man City was slow. I'm just saying this transfer was very fast, and if City weren't keeping up with the transfer, then other clubs were. And that's exactly what's happened here. Now, what's filtered through yesterday afternoon was apparent that actually what was happening was Manchester United were in contact with Jorge Mendes. Now, Jorge Mendes his job is to get the best deal for Cristiano Ronaldo. So again, I'm not going to sit here and disrespect a profession. The job of the agent is to get the player the best deal. And so he's in contact with lots of clubs to try and get that best deal. He'll have been in contact with PSG because there have been interest in there to see what they wanted to say. He's been in contact with Manchester City last week. City weren't interested in Ronaldo. It was all about Harry Kane. This transfer's only come about because Harry Kane said no, he doesn't want to leave Tottenham Hotspur, and so it's left City in a bit of a situation where we was happy to go into the season with no striker, but instead we got offered Ronaldo here, so we had a prime opportunity to take one of the best players ever and bring him to our club. From a brand perspective, it would have been brilliant. It would have put City on the map. From a player perspective, winning mentality, a player that scores goals. Tell you right now, he's going to get 20 plus goals in the Premier League. That's how good Cristiano Ronaldo is. He doesn't have the pace there anymore. It'd be interesting to see how he gets along in the Premier League, but he's that much of a quality player. I'll guarantee you right now that he'll get goals. My prediction, 20 plus goals, and I reckon he'll probably do that quite easily. Good in the air, strong, good finisher, very clinical as well. He's a good player to have had, and he'd been a brilliant short-term option because, like I said, commercially, pays for himself, put City on the map there from a brand perspective, and also it would have been funny. It would have been funny to have laughed at Manchester United because they were burning Ronaldo tops. They were losing the plot over the fact that City could sign Cristiano Ronaldo. So for them reasons, I really wanted this transfer to happen. And then it came through filtered. It was about 1 o'clock or so in the afternoon yesterday. Fabrizio Romano said no deal is in place from Manchester City, and Pep was doing his press conference and said that a deal is far from done, and players like Cristiano Ronaldo, they select the clubs themselves rather than the clubs signing them. He chooses who he wants to sign for, and so in terms of him joining Manchester City, it was far from done. So doubts were starting to cast in from there, and at the same time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was doing his press conference with Manchester United, and he said that Man United, if Ronaldo is available, Manchester United are interested in making that signing. Now, I feel like Man United have been forced into making this signing. I don't think this is a signing that they wanted to make. It's a signing that they're happy with. Certainly keeps the fans on board, so I'm sure the Glazer family, having dollar signs in their eyes, are happy from a financial perspective, and also keeping or appeasing Manchester United fans as well. Is it a signing that makes sense to them? Not really, but I can argue a case that Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't a signing that really made sense to City either, because he wasn't going to sit as a centre forward for us. It'd have more than likely been used out wide, and it'd have been a wide player that would either have to have gone into the centre to play in midfield or play up top, and it might have just disjointed the team a little bit. But those murmurs going round at Manchester City, and the players were happy to sign Cristiano Ronaldo. After all, how often do you get the chance to work with Cristiano Ronaldo? We had players in contact with Ronaldo, like João Cancelo, Marcelo, like Ruben Diaz, talking to him as well. So Ronaldo was keen on the move to Manchester City, which is always a good thing in that world-class players are interested in joining Manchester City, and that lure is still there. Pep Guardiola, Manchester City, winning trophies, which is always a good thing. However, when it comes to an ability of finalising a deal and getting a deal done and noticing when there's a threat there and acting on that before the threat ends up appearing, seems to have just eluded us a little bit here when it comes to this transfer. And it's very frustrating and pretty disappointing as well. And I speak of that by the fact that we had the opportunity here to sign Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's not every day you get the opportunity to sign Cristiano Ronaldo, and we haven't. We've passed up the opportunity. We've gone for Harry Kane, we've focused on him all summer, and we haven't sorted it. We haven't got that deal done. It's disappointing. And through us focusing too much on Harry Kane, we've passed up on Lionel Messi. Now, I'd rather have had Lionel Messi than I would Cristiano Ronaldo. Two reasons. Number one, he'd have suited our system better than what Ronaldo would have. And number two, the relationship he has with Pep Guardiola, it's second to none. I'm convinced all we had to do was get Pep to phone up Lionel Messi and say, we want to sign you, and we would have signed Lionel Messi. I'll tell you that right now. He would have rather have played for Pep Guardiola than he would have playing for PSG. Yes, he's friends with Neymar, but Pep Guardiola, and if Pep Guardiola had spoke to Lionel Messi and says, I want you to be the main man at Manchester City, come to Manchester City, we can have that final dance, and Lionel Messi, he would have gone, fantastic. I'll take that opportunity, because he was upset. He didn't want to leave Barcelona, and I think that if Lionel Messi, he'd have been going in his head that what's the best direction for him to go in would be to go and play where he'd had his most success under the manager that brought that success to Lionel Messi and Pep Guardiola. And we didn't do that. We was too busy focusing on a transfer that's ended up not happening, and it started just to filter out more information. We've never actually made a bid for Harry Kane. Tottenham weren't negotiating with City, so why have we taken so long? Why have we passed up Romelu Lukaku? Why have we passed up Lionel Messi? And why now, when a club's now interested in signing Cristiano Ronaldo, have we immediately, in response to that, said no and then walked away? We have paid £100 million for Jack Grealish, and so if it means getting our transfer targets, there has to come a time where we are going to have to go into battle with other teams to compete, because the strategy, whilst it works in having players that are coming to Manchester City because they want to come to Manchester City, in the fact that you choose to go to Man City and nowhere else, but quite frankly, we've missed out on our top targets, so beggars can't really be choosers, and it would have been just a temporary signing. It would have been for a couple of seasons, and Ronaldo would have ticked them boxes. And instead now, we're in a situation where we're going to have to go into the season with the squad that we've got, unless we go and pull something out of the hat in the coming days, which I'm not going to sit here and dismiss, because quite frankly, literally everything's happened in this summer transfer window, and anything could happen in the coming days. I did tweet out sarcastically, but there's a bit of truth in that. I wouldn't be surprised to see us get relinked with Robert Lewandowski either. Obviously, Dusan Vlahovic is another player that's also been mentioned as well. But this signing of Ronaldo, it excited me. He's a brilliant football player. I'd love to have laughed at Manchester United. It'd have been hilarious. But I'd have loved to have had his mentality at City. I'd have loved to have seen how Pep managed Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not something that I've ever imagined, and it'd have been really interesting to see, and it'd have put Manchester City onto the map. Certainly there'd be loads of people, and I know lots of City fans are going to sit there saying, I don't want neutrals at Manchester City matches, but I could tell you right now that if Cristiano Ronaldo was playing in the games, all them bums would be on seats in the Etihad Stadium. So from that perspective, it would have made sense, and instead we haven't. We've been hesitant, and because of that now, Manchester United have just snuck in through the door and announced the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo. They've paid the €25 million release clause. Juventus have accepted the offer. They put the proposal forward to Jorge Mendes. He's agreed to that. They're paying more than what Manchester City were willing to pay. Yes, we can compete with them financially, but it's ended up not happening, and City have said that we needed to sell a player if we wanted to sign Ronaldo, yet we was willing to spend €150 million on Harry Kane. So that doesn't really make sense to me. The only thing that suggests is that we're having a little bit of a problem with squad registrations and non-homegrown players, that if we can sign an English player, we can register them into the squad without it affecting the players that have already been registered. Whereas if we sign a non-homegrown player, we'd need a player to leave because we are limited to 17. And so I'm going to presume that we are at maximum capacity of 17. but we could make it work. I just feel like we've chosen not to make it work, and I really hope come the end of the season that is the correct decision. I'm not sure that it is, but they're my thoughts. I'm not being negative. We've still got a fantastic team, a team that can compete. I just think we could be even better. And I really wanted us to push on this season. I wanted this season to be the season where we win the Champions League. And to me now, I think there's teams that have strengthened, that time will tell as to whether they're now stronger than us or just as strong as us. We'll probably get a good answer when we play PSG, if I'm honest. They've strengthened tenfold. I mean, they've signed Sergio Ramos, they've signed Lionel Messi, and if they keep hold of Kylian Mbappe as well, it's going to be a very scary team to face in the Champions League. So it'd have been nice to have had the experience in a world-class player like Ronaldo lining up when it comes to them big games and the big moments, because he thrives in that kind of atmosphere. And so instead, we'll just have to go and see what it is, and the only answer we'll get is come the end of the season. We've still got a few days left in the transfer market. We still could go out there and pull something out of the bag. I'm just not expecting us to do so. Could be wrong, but they're my thoughts. And so, yeah, I'm concerned. They're my thoughts. So yeah, like I said, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Very interested in what you're making of this. We've missed out on Ronaldo. We've been pipped to the post by Manchester United. And I feel like it's through no fault of our own, really. So do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget also to leave a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. Like goal is going to be 400 likes once more. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget also to subscribe to my channel if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester City news, transfer news, and plenty more Manchester City content to come for everyone to look forward to. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries. My partner channel links, they're all in the description. If you want to go and subscribe over there, that would be fantastic. And I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. I am also just in a bit going to be doing my live watch along of the Premier League game before the international break against Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium, so I'll see you there. So I've been JSGC, thank you everyone for watching, I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace, ciao for now.